decisions, and then solve problems, and show respect. Do you know those 3 promises? Excellent. You already know them. Can you say them with me, please? Make good decisions, solve problems, show respect. Excellent. So we all promise to do our best work today. A couple of other things. One of the signals I use when I teach, if I want to get your attention, I might say, 3rd graders, give me 5. You're going to put your hand in the air and stop, look, and listen. Let's practice that. Have a little heads together with your table. Tell me what you had for breakfast. 3rd graders, 55. Oh, I like how this table found me with their eyes, even though I was in a new spot. Everyone's got their hands up and they stopped, looked, and listened. That was perfect. Okay, last thing. Sometimes I like to say, cool, cool. And if I say cool, cool, you're going to say sweet, sweet. Do you think you can do that?
Yeah.
Let's practice. Cool, cool.
Sweet, sweet.
And that just means got it? All right, great. You have a question?
It's over there.
It is. Good eyes. Great vision. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do today is I have some very cool pictures of animals that I'm going to let you look at and explore for a few minutes. I have a few expectations for this. When I give a pile of pictures to your table, I would like you to do a couple of things. You're going to put them into piles. You're going to sort these pictures. But I would like you to put the pictures on your tables so that everybody can see them. Okay? Make sure everybody can see. So you may have to sit or stand in a different way so everyone can see them. And you're going to agree on putting these animals into certain piles. So that's going to take some problem solving, right? And some kind words. And when you're done, I might ask your table or someone at your table to explain how you sorted these things. So be thinking of that. Question about the activity?
Another question.
Sure.
We move our pencil pot like on the ground for the sorting thing. So
That would be a great problem solving. Absolutely. If you need to move anything, you can do that. Okay, as soon as I give you your pictures, you go ahead and get started. Thank you. There you go. There you go.
Let's all see them so we can all agree, okay? Let's all agree. Don't get the top. We're not doing that. We're all going to put them in here and agree. What are these? Frogs still going this. These are penguins. Insects. We should do insects. So, animals that we can ride. They're a pet. They're fun. The horses go over here. This can be the farm animal. Dog pile. Put all the water animals and then put all the breastfeeding animals. It's basically grass.
So, plant eating, water, and then what was this word? So you're sort of sorting them by where they live and what they eat. We're gonna do maybe, would 30 seconds more be enough time?
We started ours. These are mammals also. This one's a little bit. This one's a little bit. No, they don't go together. They don't go together.
You guys got all your pictures into groups, or are you still finishing up?
We don't want nothing for this.
No group. This is unsorted. Okay. That's a group.
No,
You got it all sorted.
Oh yeah, but he is.
Seems like we're wrapping up within 10 more seconds.
It's fine. I have to see all the yeah. Oh, these coaches I have.
Third graders, give me 5. Excellent. Okay, so go ahead and just leave your pictures right where they are. I'm just going to call a couple of groups to share your sorting. Let's start with Western Washington, number 5. Go ahead and just stay right where you are and tell us what groups we have. Third graders, we're over here now, so let's give respect and attention to our speakers. Speaker, thank you.
Cats.
Cats. What other groups do you have at your table?
Cows.
Cows. What's this group here? What was it?
Penguin.
Penguins? And then they told me they have an unsorted group. Animals that don't really belong. 2 animals that didn't really belong into a group. Awesome job. I love the way this table was facing the whole time, and they were being really good listeners. So I'm going to let them share while I give the Vikings some points. Okay, you guys can choose whoever you want to share, what groups you've got going on. Go share. Okay.
We did it by sorting the dog pile, and then there's a dog pile, and there's a farm pile, and there's 2 of them that don't go in a way that go together, and there's an Arctic pile and an ocean pile. There's an ocean pile. This goes together. And we still don't know what these are.
Still don't.
Mammals.
Mammals. Excellent word. I heard a couple of tables using that word. Do you guys know what mammals mean?
Yes.
Awesome. So you've talked about that before. Great job. So we heard some sorting by type of animal, maybe where they live, mammals, not mammals, type of animal. We had a lot of cow pictures at this table. So excellent job. Yes. We're not going to get to every table because we're going to actually do this activity again at the end, and I'll make sure that the 3 tables up front get to share next time. Does that sound good to you? Thank you. Okay, so go ahead and put all your pictures into one nice pile. One nice pile.
So she said one nice pile. Okay, so I'm just gonna take them pictures.
And I'm looking for a table who is ready to learn. Go ahead and put them in the center of your table, and then we'll leave them alone till the end of the activity today. You look ready to learn. Thank you. Thank you, Vikings.
No, I got to put.
Okay, so I'm going to be up here for a little bit. So if you are in a chair that faces the back of the room, if you could just turn your body, that would be excellent. Great. So today, our target is, I'm going to move out of your way so you can see it. Today we will identify and describe traits in animals. Please read that with me. Today we will identify and describe traits in animals. Traits. Awesome. I'm going to ask you to have a heads together. When you have a heads together, I want to see you physically move in a level 1. Make sure you are equally sharing and listening. Awesome job. Heads together. What does this learning mean to you? Heads together.
I think it means that like we're going to be learning about animals. We're gonna describe how animals life. I mean, maybe animals life, how they're like
5 more seconds.
and like how they're made.
What? Third graders, that's 5. Thanks for wrapping up your conversation. Okay, let's go. Cougars, number 1. What does that learning mean to you? Okay, do you think we're going to learn about mammals and not mammals today? Excellent. Let's go one more. Loggers, number 1. What are we learning today?
I think it's like one animal that connects with another animal.
Animals connecting with each other? Excellent idea. So, today we are going to identify, which means find, and describe or tell more about the traits in animals. And I will let you know what those words mean in just a moment. Think about this. Why is this learning target important? Why is it important to learn about what animals are like? Think about that. Why is it important to learn about what animals are like? You can raise your hands for this one. Why do we learn about what animals are like? Yes, ma'am?
Because sometimes you don't know what it does. It might harm you.
An animal might harm you. So sometimes an animal might have traits, or it might look like or have body parts that might harm you. That sounds important, doesn't it? Give a thumbs up if you agree. That sounds important. Excellent. One more idea. Why do we learn about what animals are like? What can we use that information for? Right here.
I think we're learning about animals because if in like other 4th grade and 5th grade you might have to learn about animals, and if you don't learn them, then if you don't learn the parts of the animals, you won't be able to you understand when you're in 4th grade.
That actually brings me to a really good point, and I'm glad you brought that up. What team are you? Cougars? Okay, so that brings up a good point because in the next couple of science lessons you might have, today, yes, exactly. We're going to learn about what animals are like today, and then here's what you're going to be able to do after today. Let's try that. There it is. Knowing about traits in animals, thank you for your eyes, helps us understand how they survive in their habitat or where they live. How they survive, how they might get food for survival, or how they avoid predators or things that are trying to eat them. Okay, so when we know about animals, we know about their survival. Does that make sense? Awesome, so that's where we're going today. All right, so before we do that, we're going to learn a very important word that you're going to need. So if you could turn your attention over to our CCD chart, we're going to do a new word. I'm going to write that up for you today. This is a word you're going to need to know for today's lesson. Inherit. Listen to me say that word. Inherit. Good job. Whisper it to the window. Rumble it to your tummy. Here's a fun thing I like to do. Get your robot arms ready. We're going to do the syllables of inherit. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You look like a really good robot. I'm going to watch you while we do this. Ready? Inherit. Awesome job. How many syllables are in that word?
3.
3. Nice job. Raise your hand if you have heard the word inherit before. You have heard it before. You might know what it means, might not. Okay. 5 people. Raise your hand if you've never heard the word inherit. 11 people never heard it. Awesome. So that's great. We're going to make a prediction with the heads together. Take a guess. What do you think inherit means? Where have you heard it before? What do you think it means? Heads together.
I was going to say another word, but I messed up.
Five seconds. That's 5. Excellent. Okay, let's go. Luke's number 3. What do you think inherit means? Okay, different parts of a mammal. Why do you think it means that? Have you heard it before?
No.
You're just taking a guess by what we've talked about today? That's okay. Mammal. I hope I spelled that right. Okay, one more. Let's go back to the Vikings. What do you think inherit means, number 1?
To learn about animals.
To learn about animals, which is what we're doing today, right? Excellent, yes. We will be learning a lot about animals today. So here's what I would like you to do. This is going to be our signal word for the lesson. Every time I say inherit, you are going to say to receive from a parent. And you're going to do this with your hands. You're going to grab something and pull it towards you. Let's try that. I'll say the word, you say the word, and then we'll say to receive from a parent. Inherit.
Inherit.
To receive from a parent. Inherit. Parent. Good job. Okay, so inherit. I'm sorry, I said the wrong word. So that's to receive from a parent. Okay, are you ready to learn about traits in animals?
Yes.
You look so ready, Landon. Nice job. Okay, so when I say the signal word, you're going to be coming to sit on the carpet. I'm going to be working in this area, so leave me a little bit of space, please. I'm going to be looking for our third scout. And so I'm going to be looking for people who are making good decisions, solving problems, and showing respect. Are you ready to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, wait till we're done with our signal word. Inherit.
Inherit.
To receive from a parent. Inherit. You can leave it at your table for now. Thanks for asking. Bernice did a nice job of solving a problem. She had just a little bit of space left here, and she made it work for her, so I'm going to invite her to be our scout. She's going to be watching for our 3 compass while we're on the carpet. So would you like to pull the chairs back out? Awesome. Are you guys going to remain standing? Is that what you're doing? That's fine. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to begin. Remember today, our goal is to identify and describe traits in animals. So first, what is a trait? I want you to do some silent thinking right now. You're going to answer all these questions in your head. Take a look at someone near you. Look them right in the eye. Awesome. What color are their eyes? I like the way some of you remembered we're answering these questions in our head. We're answering these in our head. The scout's watching for who's listening to directions. Think in your head, what about their hair? Is it long, short, straight, curly? We're doing this in our head. Brown, black, blonde, somewhere in between. There it goes. I have to tap in the middle. Here's a fun one, if you've ever heard of this. Free or attached earlobes. Look at their ears. Do their earlobes go straight to their neck, or do they curve under into a U shape? Some people have different earlobes. Interesting little fact. All right, attention back up front. Thank you. These are all traits of humans, and we are sort of like animals, right? So this is what we can see when we look at an animal. That's a trait. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense to you. Okay. So when we're talking about animal traits, we're going to need to know some brand new words. This is a family. I just love this picture. Love kittens. They're so cute. This we can pretend is the mom or the dad and the baby kittens. And this is a family. So today I'm going to use a word, parent. We know that because inherit means to receive from a parent. And we are also going to be using the word offspring. Can you say that word?
Offspring.
Offspring is the children of the parent animal. But we don't call them children when we talk about animals. We say offspring. Very good. Okay, so we're going to be talking about what kind of traits are inherited from the parents of animals. All right? Here we go. Take a look at these two animals. I'll step out of your way. How is this baby chick both alike and different from its mother? Think about that by yourselves for a second. How is that baby chick alike and different from its mother? Think about it by yourself for a second. You guys are ready to share. Why don't you go ahead and turn to an elbow partner. How is the offspring alike or different from the parent? Chickens in the same family? How are they chickens? They have a different color? Awesome. I didn't realize you didn't have that. Think about the traits. What traits are similar or different between those animals? I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to wrap up the conversation.
Me and my partner already have.
I like the way some of you notice sometimes I don't say the word, I just give a signal. Nice job noticing. Okay, so go ahead and raise your hand if you want to give me an idea. What traits do you think are similar between these two animals? What traits? Yes, sir.
The chicken doesn't have teeth.
We're doing similar. I hear a difference. Hold that thought. We'll come right back to you. Did you want to share a similarity? Okay, we'll come back to you for a difference. Yes, sir.
That they both have a beak.
Thanks for helping with that word. They both have a beak. Awesome. Yes, sir.
They both have legs.
They do both have legs. How many? 2 legs. So sometimes it's about the number of body parts. Yes, Bernice?
They both have wings.
They both have wings. Okay, now we're going to move on to differences. Eyes up front. Okay, we're going to go back to our friend. What's different between the offspring and the parent? I don't know what that's called.
Yeah.
This red thing?
A gobble.
Gobble. It could be.
And the baby does it.
And the baby does not. The offspring does not have that.
And the baby is furrier than the mom. He needs to shave.
What's your name? Kevin has been waiting patiently, and he's not been talking when I've been talking, so I'm going to let him go next.
The parent doesn't, the mother doesn't, the baby doesn't have the same hair as the mother.
Different feathers. Different kind of feathers, right? Different color. Possibly a different texture, which is how it feels. One more difference, right here. Eyes on the speaker, please.
The parent has that tail right behind it, and the chick.
Nope. And if it does have a tail, it's so small we can't see it, right? Different type of tail. Excellent difference. Raise your thumb if you had that same idea about the tail. Big difference, right? Okay, so when we talk about traits between offspring and parent, we know this word, inherit. Inherit.
Inherit.
To receive from a parent. So if things are similar between the parent and the offspring, they were inherited traits. So what were some of the things that were inherited? You can shout them out. What was inherited?
They're different size.
Same. What's same? What did this baby chick receive from its parent? Two legs, two eyes,
Two feathers. No.
feathers, feet. Excellent. Attention.
A turkey.
But you did notice some differences, right? Eyes up, boys. Thank you. Remember, your scout is watching for making good decisions. All right, here's a new word. Variations. Can you say that with me?
Variations.
When something is varied, it's different. And so some traits are variations from the parent. Does every chick ever born have brown feathers?
No.
Could it have yellow feathers?
Yeah.
White, black?
No. Yeah.
There are white and black chicks.
Yeah, I have white and black chicks.
Yeah, you have chicks.
I have chickens and chicks.
You're an expert on this. What color chickens do you have? Let's all listen to our speaker.
I have gold, but this goldish brownish
Okay.
chicken. I have yellow chickens. I have black and white chickens. I have just brown chickens. And I have this white with brown kind of chicken.
That's excellent. Does anybody else in here have chickens? I didn't even ask this. You have chickens too? I don't have chickens. You have chickens?
My aunt has one.
We're listening to the speaker over here.
My aunt has a farm. My aunt
Your aunt has a farm. So we all know about chickens. There's lots of variations of color. They can come in all sorts of colors. So inherited means they got it from the parent, right? Variations means it's a difference. Can you remember those two things? Awesome. Okay, so take a look at the kittens again. What traits were inherited or received from the parent? How do they look the same as the mom cat? How do they look the same? Landon, thanks for raising your hand quietly.
Well, they're all tiny.
How do they look the same as the mom parent? What do they have the same? They both have fur on their bodies. Yes, ma'am.
They both have tiny.
Ears that point up. The mom's ears pointed up too, right?
No.
Yeah. Yes, sir?
Cute noses.
Cute noses. Agreed.
Eyes.
They both have how many eyes?
Two.
Two. Do all animals have two eyes?
Yeah. No.
There are insects that have more than two eyes, right? So this is an inherited trait from the mom cat, from the parent. The offspring received same amount of legs. How many tails?
One.
All cats have two eyes
And
and ears, and their body's covered with
fur.
And as our friend pointed out, cute noses. Cute noses.
I didn't do that.
Here's another question.
He said we do.
Okay, next question. What variations do you see? Remember, variations are differences. What differences do you see up here? My friend in red.
One of the cats are gold, yellow.
So one cat has a different color of
fur.
fur. Any other variations? Was it Quentin?
They have smaller whiskers.
Smaller whiskers than the parent. Okay, last one.
He has different nose.
With this one does have a different color nose. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And inside the ear, so that we have pink here where it's brown and black here. Good eye.
Another smaller one.
Good eye. Okay, turn to an elbow partner. Here's what you're going to talk about. What is inherited and what's variation? What do those two words mean? Heads together.
It's not the same.
I think a variant means when something is in a group of animals, like a class.
5 seconds. Awesome job. Mrs. Maxwell is right. You guys are scientists in this room. Hey, so as we know, like our friend in blue, tell me your name. Riley pointed out, we're going to need to know this stuff in the future because of things that are coming up. When we learned our goal for today, it was that we were going to describe traits in animals so that we know about their survival, how they use those traits to survive in the wild. So take a look at these two mice. They came from the same parent. They are offspring of the same parent. And just like chickens, mice can come in all sorts of different colors. So how does this variation in color or difference in color, attention up front please. Thank you. How does this variation in color affect their survival? Think about that. How does the way they look affect how they survive in the wild? Yes, sir. What do you think about that? They can say that word. That's such an important word. They can camouflage. Hands up if you know what camouflage is. Someone other than our friend who said that nice word, explain that. What do you see in that picture that's going to help that mouse survive? It's the same color as the ground, so it can blend in and hide. This mouse might have to find a better hiding spot. Am I right?
Yeah.
Sir? Absolutely. He'll find a dark place to hide, I'm sure.
Like that background.
Exactly. If you have something else to say about this picture, say it to a partner, then I'm going to switch. Exactly. A cat would know. But if that bird sits really still, it would think so, yeah.
That's what I think.
Thank you. Nice job. Okay, so we're going to do some new pictures. Does anyone know what this is?
No.
I like how our friend up front raised her hand without alerting. Nice job. What do you think that is? You have a guess. Give me your guess. It's close to a walrus. This is a type of seal called an
elephant.
I didn't even need to come today. You guys are experts. This is an elephant seal. How can you tell?
Because it has a big nose.
It absolutely does. Give me your attention. This elephant seal has something on its body. Take a look. I got a nice close-up. Do you see the scratches on his body?
Yeah.
Luckily, they have very tough, thick skin. So those scratches didn't hurt that animal. But this elephant seal has scars on its skin. Do you think that animal was born with those scars? Think about that. Give me a thumbs up if you have a scar on your body.
Oh.
I like the way you shared with a thumb and not a voice. Thumb and not a voice. Now think about this. Remember, thinking happens in our head. Were you born with that scar? Some people are.
Yeah.
Oh, think in your head. Most of us have scars. I've got one on my hand. I wasn't born with that. That's not a trait that I received or inherited from a parent. Are you with me? Scouts watching. So this is called an acquired trait. I'll put that word up for you. Say acquired.
Acquired.
It's something they acquired or got throughout their life. They were not born with it. They didn't inherit it from a parent. So take a look at this. Who has this in their ear right now? Any boys or girls in here with an earring? Were you born with earrings? Shout it out.
No.
No, that would be
Weird.
amazing. I would be amazed if that were true. This is something that I acquired in my life. I did not inherit this. And if I were to have children, they would not be born with earrings in their ears. They can't inherit that trait from me. Last example. Talk about this picture with your elbow partner. Ready, go.
It's a poodle.
Talk about what acquired trait you see there.
It's somebody acquired trait.
Dog have.
Sometimes they're like it's a poodle. It's a poodle. Yeah. I said yeah. No. I know. Yeah. Some people may say
Eyes up. What acquired trait do you see in the picture of that poodle? What were they not born with? I'm going to wait until everybody's quiet, and then I'll choose a speaker. Right here.
they're not always born big.
They're not, no, they're definitely not. They grow in size. You're right about that. What about its haircut?
It's not one.
You're not born with this haircut.
No, it's short. It's very short.
Right.
Because it's not.
Bernice?
It's not born with that hair because if its hair is like big, some people might cut the hair.
Exactly. And they did a nice fancy haircut where they gave some socks, a little poof on the tail. My friends with bangs in here. You have bangs. Can I point out your hair? She's got hair that's cut at this length and then hair at this length. Her hair wasn't born like that, right?
No.
You get your haircut. You have a nice haircut. Can I point you out? It's shaved on the sides. When he was born, did he only have hair on the top and a mohawk?
No.
So what do we call that trait, third graders? Absolutely. Say it one more time so it sticks in your brain. Nice job. So, now we're going to do some practice.
Sure. Yes.
Yikes. We're going to do some practice, but before we do that, we're going to do something. We're going to do a thing. Are you ready? I'm going to sing a chant, and by the end I'm done with that chant 3 times, you're going to be in a new place on the carpet. You're going to stand and stretch and find a new elbow partner to sit by. Are you ready? I'm going to say that chant 3 times. Scouts watching. Ready? Here we go. Switch it, change it, rearrange it. Switch it, change it, rearrange it. Last time. Switch it, change it, rearrange it, and we're ready. You did a nice job. Awesome job. Okay, we are going to practice our 3 types of traits. Inherited, variations, and acquired. Are you ready? I know you are. What is a similar inherited trait that this offspring got from its parent? Quentin.
It got its fins.
Fins. Awesome job. What's an example of a variation you see here? What's a variation? Good question. What's a variation? Say it if you know it.
It is a thing that you don't get from your parent.
It's a difference. It's a difference. Exactly. Jake?
The shirt is smaller than the bigger shirt.
It is smaller. It is smaller. And you know what else I just noticed? Look at the fins, the top fins. Do you see this one has bumps?
Yeah.
Does the offspring have a bumpy?
No, it's just straight.
This one you're going to have to use real good eyes for. It's hard to see. What is an acquired trait? Something that the parent got during its life that won't be passed on to the offspring. What do you see?
How if you look really close, you can see like little dots on right here and up here.
Mm-hmm. Do you see these dots, these bumps, these bruises, these scars, these scratches?
No, the only reason they have is like
They do. They fight. So this is part of what happens when they're trying to survive, right? That was acquired during their life. Here's another example.
But they're actually not friendly.
I'm looking for an inherited trait. What? Listening? What did this parent pass off to their offspring? What did they receive from the parent? What do you see that's the same?
I know. Their eyes.
How many?
2.
2. And a similar
I know.
coloring to their eyes, right? Do you see the brows?
Yeah.
I'm going to call on you if you're saying right. If you're not blurring out, I know. Okay? Here's my next question. What variation do you see? Other than size. We know they're smaller, right? What difference do you see? Right here. Brown fur. And where do they have they have a dark part fur right here. Exactly. And where do they have lots of fur?
And the dad has
the
fur right
mane.
here.
Nice word. What's that called?
The mane.
The mane. Good job.
The dad has mane right here and the kids don't.
They don't have a mane yet. Maybe they won't have one. We'll see.
Yeah, because maybe
Some
some
of them are girls.
So yeah, they all have white chins.
And
They do all have white
There's a
chins.
white
Good
part
idea.
under the dad's thing, but the chin, it goes like all the way up.
Oh, he has white on his lips. Yep. Okay, last question. Acquired. What does this parent have that they didn't receive from their parent?
black fur.
Well, we don't know. I don't know if their parent had black fur. Do you have an idea here?
White thing.
They have some
That's from the ground.
twigs, dried grass in their fur. If they have more lion cubs, will their cubs be born with dirty fur?
No.
No, that's an acquired thing. And there might be a reason for that in survival. Be thinking about that because our next couple of lessons we'll be talking about how these traits help them survive. Why would they cover themselves in something? Okay, last one.
Horses got great.
This one you're going to do with your elbow partner. You're going to list what did they inherit, what's similar, what's a variation, and what was acquired, what had nothing to do with their parents. Heads together.
And the variation, one has braids, one didn't. They have white. The baby has the top one has braids, the top one feet has not the same is that they wasn't braids and the nose is
5 seconds. All right, third graders, eyes up. Last practice. What is a similar trait that they all inherited from a parent? Landon.
They're all white.
They are all white. Nice job. And there's lots of similarities, aren't there? Number of legs. Okay, this one's tricky because there's a clear difference, but you have to ask yourself, was this a difference when they were born, or is it a difference they acquired after they were born? Think about that. I'm going to ask for a variation. That's a difference they were born with. That's a tricky one. Yes, sir.
The baby's feet, they're black.
Good eye. They were born with darker hair on their legs. Okay, last one. An acquired trait may or may not be used for survival. What did one of the horses acquire throughout their lives? Jake.
Hair.
Hey, they all have hair. What's going on with this hair?
Braided.
Got a sweet hairstyle going on, right? Rocking some braids. Okay. I know you're ready to move. I'm going to give you some instructions before you go. You look ready for instructions, and so does your partner, Riley. Okay, you're going to go back to your tables in just a moment. Before we do that, I'm going to give you instructions. Our scout's going to choose who she saw. So she's going to think about that right now. And then we're going to say our signal word before we move. Lots of things. Eyes on me. When you go back to your tables, you're going to sort your pictures in a new way. You're going to be looking for 3 pictures that you want to share with the rest of the class. And you're going to help us put them in 3-column notes. You're going to be looking for a picture that shows an inherited trait, such Something they
See from their parents.
You're going to look for a variation. It's a difference they were born with. I'm going to put that clue up here. Okay? And you're also going to be looking for, what's this one? An acquired trait, something they got while they were living. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You're going to be looking through your pictures with your friends. When you find one picture for each topic, you're going to come grab a little piece of tape and tape it up with your friends. And then you're going to just sit back down at your table. What directions do I need to clarify for you?
To be
Does anyone need me to say the directions again, or can somebody tell me what you're going to do when you get back to your table? What are you going to do?
choose an animal that has one of those.
Yep. You're going to put one animal picture under each column. Cool, cool?
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Cool, cool?
Sweet, sweet.
Okay, Scout, who did you see that was making good decisions, solving problems, and showing respect?
Quentin,
What did you see Quentin doing?
when you said talk to your partner, he talked to his partner and he kept his eyes on you the whole time.
Excellent. I agree with that choice. Nice job, you two. Thank you for being our Scout, Bernice. Okay, hold on. We're going to say our signal word before we go. Inherit.
Inherit.
To receive from a parent. Inherit. Close picture sort. Go ahead.
Okay, so now.
Work together.
I think we should do the cow because
Inherit or
inherit. I think this one should go in Okay. Hey, look. See the pictures are different.
yeah, the pictures are different. And I think this is because
You're going to bring all three pictures at the same time.
Okay, I'm gonna tell her.
so we need to do
Three of each. No, I mean 3 of each. So one acquired, one found.
and one
Some difference they were born with.
Wait, Raquel.
Make sure you have one picture in each column. Jake, what'd you find so far?
This one to go,
Hey, do you have one for inherited yet? Well, it's something they received from a parent.
I bet tape paper. The only one that I first place.
I put, Raquel put that one in. You should have done this one.
Third grade Fast Five. Make sure your group. Let's try that again. Third grade Fast Five. Give me 5. Is that the wrong thing? Thank you. Make sure your group has put one picture in each. I'll know you're ready when your pictures are back into a group and your fingers are folded. That'll tell me you've already done 3 pictures.
Do this one. 3 pictures of that one. We already put one in each. And then Jacob, because she's gonna put no, we should put that one, Jessica. I said we can't do more than 3. So where do we put it? Oh, here, let me put it.
Yeah, I put that one. And then because that one is fair. Yeah, we all get what to do. We only get one thing.
But some people grab it. And Claire, the biggest picture in the world.
No, acquired. People took more than what they were going to get.
So which one have you not put up yet? Looks like we're missing one inherited and one acquired. In variations, did you put an inherited trait up? Something they received from a parent?
I got the Huskies and
What's inherited?
That they're giving to us.
There you are. What was he born with that they have? Spots. Sure. And what about acquired? Fancy haircut? You all agree? Thank nice job working together on
how could he
No.
that. Okay, all pictures should be back in a nice neat pile. Fingers should be folded so I know you're ready.
Alright, take off my phone.
Thank you for telling me.
Took it off. Right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put it right here.
Okay, thank you. Stay over here. You're welcome. We're working so hard together on that. There you go. Eyes up. I can tell that Quentin's ready to listen, and so are the Vikings. Nice job. Thank you, loggers. Okay, I can tell you learned a lot from this activity today. Let's take a look at our inherited traits. What did these pandas inherit? Tell somebody at your table. 3, 2, 1. Eyes up. Excellent job there. In the variations column, something that's different that they were born with. Let's look at the camels, because I see the camel picture in 2 spots. Is that okay? No, let's talk about that. Did this baby camel inherit something from its parent?
No.
They have no similarities?
Yeah, they have similarities. Yeah, they both got legs. Both the same
They both have 4
They
legs.
both got bump.
They have a hump.
You got a face.
So, does this show inherited?
Yes.
Absolutely. That's not wrong. Does it show a variation that one was born with?
Yeah.
A difference one was born with? We can see
Different colors.
different colors. So that's absolutely okay. Nice job on that. Okay. Acquired, something they were born without. Let's point these out. These seals. Who put this up here? Jake, why do you think there's an acquired trait in here? What did they acquire during their life?
They acquired scars,
Scars and scratches.
and that one looks like it's got.
Might be missing a leg. Yikes. Thank you, Jake, for pointing that out. What about these penguins? Raise your hand if you can see from where you're sitting that they have an acquired trait. I know the cougars put this up, and I know they know. Do you think you know what it is?
These 2 legs don't have these.
These are bands. Sometimes we mark animals so that we can keep track of where they are, so we can learn their patterns of behavior. So these are banded.
And then this one's like kind of brown, and then the rest of it's blackish.
Yep, that's what they were born with, right? We know the poodle was not born with this sweet haircut. That'd be pretty neat, but it wasn't. And this seal also has, if you can't see it,
Scratches.
some scratches. Ouch. I wanted to point out a few that I might ask if it's okay if we change. Did somebody put this cat here? Is it okay if we talk about this? Thank you. This cat you may not see. Take a look at its ears. You might have a cat at home with an ear like that.
Wait, what is that? Wait, that ear, it's cut off. Like,
It's got a little bend and maybe a piece of ear missing. Do you think that cat was born with that or acquired that?
Acquired.
acquired, it can.
It can be born with it because other cats have one ear, and my cat was born with. I used to have a cat that was born with this ear.
Like a floppy ear. This can be, boys, thank you. This can be something you're born with, or it could be acquired. But I'm going to move it out of inheritance, so I'm going to let you decide. Do you want this in a variation that they were born with, or do you want it in something that happened to them?
Born.
Are you okay with that? Okay, because this was yours. Okay, thank you. Nice job. All right, you guys have been amazing. I'm almost out of here. One last thing, we need to check off that we learned our targets today. So, students, heads together, what did we learn today?
We learned
Five seconds. 2, 1. Zero. Bad. Awesome. Huskies, tell me one thing you learned today.
They mark your birds to know what they're doing.
You learned about marking birds. Excellent. Lockers, tell me one thing you learned today.
We learned about animals that are acquired or born or inspired.
Good. Inherited traits. Variations that they were born with, or differences that they acquired. One more thing that you learned today.
Like the difference and the non-difference.
Yep. Similarities and differences between traits. So let's see. Let's check if you learned what I wanted you to learn. Did you identify and describe traits in animals today? Thumbs up if you did. Absolutely. You learned a lot of important words today. Let's see. Who can remember, why is this learning important? What are we going to be learning about next? What will we learn about next about animals? Quentin, do you remember? You want to think about it a little bit more? What are we going to be learning about animals' traits next?
Different types of subjects.
We're going to still learn about science. What do they use these traits to do in the wild?
Survive.
We're going to learn about how this affects their survival. Awesome job. Okay, I'm going to give something to you to work on alone. I'm going to read it to you first so you know what these words say. Eyes up. Number 1 says, name 2, how many? 2 inherited traits in a family of giraffes. Inherited means they. Let's try that again. What am I doing? Receive from a parent. What did they receive from the parent? And then name 1 possible variation that could occur in a giraffe. Number 2, Mark is a fake person. Mark says shaving his dog's hair will make her, Mark is a girl. Sorry, that's a mistake. Will make his puppies have shorter hair. Mark says shaving his dog's hair will make his puppies be born with shorter hair. Do you agree or disagree, and why? Nice catch. Do you understand what you're doing on this paper?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to give it to you. You're going to do this on your own and with a pencil. And I'm going to come around and collect your pictures. You've been excellent.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed my time here today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So,